Given question, find the centroid of given composite.
Let us understand the general procedure to find out centroid for any given shape. At the end of this video, I will give you one important tip about the symmetry. In this video, we have to find out the centroid for this shape. If we observe this diagram, then we can separate this diagram into two equal parts. If I draw one vertical line passing through the center point, then this diagram is equally distributed. So we can say that this is the symmetric diagram. We will follow the general procedure. So first step, we have to select the x-axis and y-axis. We have to select the x-axis and y-axis in such a way that this diagram should be in the first quadrant. So if we observe, this bottom shape is the larger shape. So this vertical line of the bottom shape I will extend as a y-axis. So if I extend this line, then this vertical line is y-axis. And for this bottom shape, this bottom horizontal line I will extend as a x-axis. So we will extend here as a x-axis. Now point of intersection of this x-axis and this y-axis is known as origin O. Now if we observe, the values towards right hand side are positive. Values in the upward direction are also positive. Values on left hand side are negative and values in downward direction are negative. So this diagram is in the first quadrant. Now second step, we have to split this given shape into simple number of shapes. So if I draw here one construction line, then here this first shape known as rectangle. So I will give here the number, that is this number 1. Now if I draw the second construction line, then here this is the second shape. So this second shape is also rectangle. And this bottom shape is the third shape and it is also rectangle. So this diagram is divided into 3 shapes. So we will prepare here one table and we will mention the shape number. Shape number 1, shape number 2 and shape number 3. Now what is the next step? So next step, we have to find out the values of x and y for all these shapes. So first we will take the shape number 1. So here is the rectangle with length 10 and width is 2. So first point we have to take the center point, or we have to select the center point. I will extend this y-axis. So first step, we have to select here the center point. So I will select the center point for the shape number 1. Now second step, we have to draw perpendicular lines on x-axis as well as y-axis. So I will draw here one perpendicular line. So here is the y-axis. So here this perpendicular line, and from the center line we will draw perpendicular line on the x-axis also. So here is the perpendicular line. Now this horizontal distance is known as value of x and this vertical distance is known as value of y. So we will write here the value of x as well as value of y. Now how to write this? So if we observe here, this is the center point, and from this center point we have to find out this horizontal distance. So the total length is equal to 15. This total horizontal length is equal to 15, and this diagram is symmetric. That means center point of this third shape is also lies on this vertical line. So here this 15 divided by 2, that is the value of x, and that is equal to 7.5. Now we will find out value of y. So we will first measure this total vertical distance, 10 plus 3 plus 2. That is equal to 15. But here that is we have to consider only 1 centimeter. That is 10 plus 3 13, 13 plus 1 that is 14. So value of y is 14. Now we have to find out area. So area for the shape number 1, that is this 10 multiplied by 2, that is 20 centimeters square. Now we have to find out ax as well as ay. So these are the values for the shape number 1. So we can say that these are the values known as a1 x1 as well as a1 y1. a1 x1 is equal to 20 multiplied by 7.5 is equal to 150, and a1 y1 is equal to 20 multiplied by 14, which is equal to 280. Now we will move to the second shape. Now for second shape we will follow the same procedure. First step, we have to select the center of the shape number 2. So if we observe, its width is given 2 centimeter and height is equal to, so here it is given 10. So we will select here the center point. Now we will draw two perpendicular lines, one on x axis and second on y axis. Now this horizontal distance is known as x and this vertical distance is known as y. So we will measure this distance. So if we observe, the center point for all these three shapes is same and it is equal to, if we observe here, this total length is 15 and 15 divided by 2, that is equal to 7.5. So I will write here the value of x is equal to 7.5. Then next, value of y. So value of y, this is the center point of for this total height 10. So this height is equal to 5 centimeter plus remaining height 3, that is total height is equal to 8 centimeter. And area, so how to measure area of rectangle, that is 10 multiplied by 2, that is 20. So here we have to find out values of ax and ay for shape number 2. So this is equal to a2 x2 and here is a2 y2. So a2 x2 7.5 multiplied by 20, that is equal to 150. And a2 y2 20 multiplied by 8, that is equal to 160. Now we will move to the shape number 3. So again we will select the center point. So here length is 15 centimeter and height is 3 centimeter. So we will select here the center point. Now next step, we will draw perpendicular on x axis as well as y axis. So this horizontal distance is known as x and this vertical distance is known as y. So we will write the values of x as well as y. So I will write here value of x 15 divided by 2, 7.5. Then value of y. So it is total height is 3 and this bottom distance is 3 divided by 2, that is 1.5. And what is the area? So area is equal to 15 multiplied by 3, that is 45. A3x3 is equal to 337.5 and A3y3 is equal to 67.5. Now we will find out coordinates of centroid G for this whole shape. So suppose these coordinates are x bar and y bar, then how to calculate x bar? And that is equal to a1 x1 plus a2 x2 plus a3 x3 divided by a1 plus a2 plus a3. So when we calculate this, then we will get 7.5. And how to calculate y bar? That is equal to a1 y1 plus a2 y2 plus a3 y3 divided by a1 plus a2 plus a3. So when we calculate this, then we will get 5.97. So unit is centimeter. So we will use here the unit for x bar is in centimeter and y bar is also in centimeter. Now we will locate the centroid G. So here if we observe, this x bar is 7.5, that is the center point. So if I observe, we have to select here one center point on horizontal line, and y bar, that is on vertical line, we have to select 5.97. So this vertical distance is 3. So above that we will select here approximately 5.97. So we will extend these 2 points and this is the centroid G. So this horizontal distance is known as x bar and this vertical distance is known as y bar. So this is the exact location of the G. Now from this calculation we can conclude for this symmetric diagram. If we observe all the values of x for all the shapes are same 7.5, 7.5, 7.5. Also the value of x bar, that is the coordinate of the centroid G, is also same and that is equal to x, that is equal to 7.5 centimeter. So when we are going to solve the problem for the symmetric diagram, then why this value of x bar is equal to 7.5? Because it is symmetric about the vertical line. So whenever the diagram is symmetric about the vertical line, then the value of x bar is nothing but the distance of the center point from this axis, and it is equal to 7.5 centimeter. So whenever we solve such a symmetric problem, then it is not necessary to calculate or to prepare the table for this x as well as ax. We can prepare the table for shape, number, area, y and ay. And we will write only value of x bar is equal to horizontal distance of the center and which is equal to 7.5 centimeter. So we have to mention only this in the exam. Now what about when the diagram is symmetric about the horizontal line? So whenever the diagram is symmetric about the horizontal line, in that case the value of y is same for all the shapes and the y bar is also equal to the distance of the center line from this x-axis. So in that case it is not necessary to prepare table for these two columns y and ay.